How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, let me read this title to you. Trump says he deserves credit for the lowest black unemployment rate in decades. He doesn't. All right, my royal family, I have an article that I'm going to read to y'all. Let me get my other computer. This is a long article. I'm going to only read what's absolutely necessary. So, let's get it popping. So, anyway, President Donald Trump regularly tweets when new numbers on the economy are released, usually as a way to heighten how these numbers compare to those under his immediate predecessor, Barack Obama. So when new unemployment numbers for December 2017 reveal that the unemployment rate for black Americans have fallen to its lowest point in decades, it was just a matter of time until the president weighed in. Oh, and we know it. In recent weeks, Trump has repeatedly this dude is funny. Oh, this dude is funny. Let me get to the juicy part. Let me get to the juicy part. Let me get to the juicy part, my royal family. So he repeatedly taunted new unemployment numbers for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The numbers found that in December, the unemployment rate held steadily at 4.1% for Americans of all races among black Americans. The numbers fell to 6.8% unemployment, the lowest rate recorded since the BLS began breaking down, and that is, I think that it stands for the Bureau Labor Statistics, the BLS, yes, the Bureau Labor Statistics began breaking down the numbers by the race in 1970. Trump is particularly proud of the drop, sending his first tweet about the lower black unemployment numbers shortly after they came out. African American unemployment rate fell to a 6.8, the lowest rate in 45 years. I am so happy about this news, he tweeted on January 6th. He tweeted it about it again on January 8th and mentioned it during his speech before the American Farm Bureau Federation annual convention that same day, and has also retweeted at least one other account that noted that black unemployment numbers hit a historic low during his tenure. This motherfucker ain't even been in office long enough. So anyway, I'm going to scroll down and get to the juicy parts. Get to the juicy parts. Anyway, it states here, black unemployment has fallen, but the current number is nothing to cheer about. We gonna keep it core. Since Trump first took credit for the lower unemployment rates earlier this month, journalists and economists have noted that he isn't really the cause of the decline of unemployment among black Americans, has been declining pretty steadily after coming close to 17, thank you, Father, percent in 2011. Over at the Washington Post, Philip Bump points out that unemployment numbers for black Americans have fallen relatively consistently for the past several years. By the time Trump entered the Oval Office in January 2017, the black unemployment rate was at 7.8%. So my royal family, let me put this to the side. I will because it's a lot of other gobbledygook to read in there. And y'all can enjoy yourself, because I will leave it in there for the royal family. But I have a video to play for the royal family too as well, so we can get a broader perspective on also what's really going on. So it says here, and this is updated January 20th, 2018, black unemployment is at a record low, but there's a lot more to the story. Always when it comes to the royal family.
Frederick's Wine and Dine outside Cleveland, high hopes for the new year.
I think things are good.
Owner Frederick Parks, who already employs more than 50 people, says he plans to hire more in the coming months, in part to help serve the roughly 2,000 new workers at an Amazon fulfillment center set to open in this majority black community.
We should have a big creation of jobs from the neighborhood of chefs, bartenders, as well as servers, and hopefully even more management staff.
It's the kind of economic boost President Trump has been eager to take credit for, along with a surging stock market and a record low African-American unemployment rate.
It was just reported African-American unemployment is at its lowest level in history. I'm very proud of that.
The jobless rate among blacks slid to 6.8% in December, though part of that drop could be attributed to fewer people looking for jobs, and the black unemployment rate has consistently been about twice as high as the rate for whites. Still, the latest good news is part of a long-term trend that began under President Obama, a fact not lost on Parks.
I think that President Trump is sitting in a position where things have been set and already, the roadmap was already there.
Parks says Trump does deserve credit for the record-setting stock market.
I have seen it definitely rise, so it's only fair to give him the credit for that.
But what about other promises Trump has made?
I don't see a whole lot. To me, he's made a lot of promises, and a lot of things have not been answered.
Do you feel like the president genuinely wants to help the black community?
That's a tough question for me to answer.
Parks is one of the 88% of black Ohioans who did not vote for Trump in 2016. And he doesn't appreciate some of his rhetoric when it comes to talking about black people, including recently calling some African countries shithole nations. Accountant Shirley Stevens shares Parks' views on Trump.
He has shown us that he wants to tear us apart as a nation.
Her tax preparing business was hit hard during the Great Recession, but has bounced back.
We regroup and we managed to grow.
But while she agrees Trump deserves credit for the skyrocketing stock market, Stevens doesn't think the president's policies, including the massive tax bill the White House touts as a middle-class tax cut, are going to help her.
I believe it's going to help the very rich.
Athena Jones, CNN, Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, my royal family. So, this is going to be an interesting discussion. So, the black unemployment rate is at an all-time low. Bullshit. That's all I gotta say is bullshit. I mean, the ones of us is working, usually working low-level jobs. And it's a lot of educated black folks in the royal family. Now, my field is construction. I live up here in Northern California. I rarely see a black man work. All I see is Mexicans work and white boys. White boys is always the superintendents and foremans, and the Mexicans hump. And the few black men that I see work in the construction field, they're holding a flag, and I want y'all to remember this. Usually if you see any black person holding a flag in the construction field, 9 times out of 10 they are highly skilled. Highly. Don't lose sight of that. I did see a sister today, and I hunked at her. She was working for PG&E. I had to give her props. So the other part is, I think sometimes we just give up. We just get tired of getting the door slammed in our face, you know. I'm just keeping it core with the royal family. This is bullshit. That's just how I'm just keeping it core. So, I don't really got much to say about it. But, you know, I'm doing my due diligence and I'm going to report it. And I will put that article there. Trump doesn't get the credit for the all-time low. And I still can't see it. It's just still bullshit. Somebody enlighten me, because I am at a loss for words. So anyway, my royal family, do what you do best. Render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And always, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.